I've even just seen a train line off to the left here, as if the morning couldn't get any better.
This is the Bay Area, encompassing the cities of San Francisco, Oakland, and San Jose, to name a few. Unknown to many, there is a surprisingly good amount of climbing here. It's a cyclist playground, with hills and mountains stretching in and around the dense urban metropolis. According to the PJAM cycling website, there are 151 documented climbs in the entire Bay Area. And in this series, we'll aim to tackle all of them, one by one, and at the end of the day, take you through what it's like and rank them based on difficulty and how beautiful.
Alrighty, good morning and welcome back to the next episode of the Every Climb series. We're in Fairfax and we've got a real good one today. It's clear skies, it's a beautiful day, it is frigid cold, I will say. But let's get into it and I'll explain what we're doing. Alrighty, two good climbs today, both along the Bolinas ridgeline. The bottom one there is Olema Hill and the top one is the Bolinas Fairfax Road. Let's get into it. Oh my gosh, is it cold! We've had rain for the past couple of days, and immediately after it leaves, the temperature drops. Woo! Alright, we're coming out of Fairfax, and we just hit a hill out of nowhere. This isn't even a registered climb or one I was going to do today, but at least it's getting the legs warmed up, because it is still mildly cold. But we're pumping up. It just came out of nowhere. Look at this lovely countryside. Beautiful. And there's sunrise behind me. How good a start is this? Look at this ahead. Look at this mist or fog or whatever it is. Good thing I've got all my lights on. You can tell how cold it is. There's frost building up on the gloves. Alright, I might be in the most beautiful part of this ride. A section of redwoods towering above, a creek down below. Oh, it's still cold, but beautiful. It's taking away the pinch of the pain. Look at some of this stuff. How good is this? I've even just seen a train line off to the left here. As if the morning couldn't get any better. Alright, it looks moody in the camera, but we have actually just reached the start of the Olema Hill climb. Here we go. Now this one's not long by any means, so it shouldn't be hard to tackle, but it's on the list, so we're gonna come and do it. And after all that mist, we're finally getting some sun. Alright, the sun is coming back out again. Here we go, up and up, heading towards the ocean. Alright, we're getting steep all of a sudden. There's a bit of a drop off to the left-hand side, but it's ramping up. Legs are pumping now. Be aware, there is not much shoulder on this road. There's light beyond. Let's keep it going. Look at that. What on earth? That's majestic. It's film-like. Alright, rounding the corner here. Nearly at the top. Yeah. Here we go. Top of Olema Hill. Alrighty, there's Olema Hill done. One more off the books. Short and sweet. It's pretty good. Not too steep except for the last part. It'd be good to add in if you're doing a big round trip up here towards Point Reyes. The hill line back over here that goes out towards Point Reyes, and then we're going to head south now along this ridge up to the next climb, down to the next climb, let's say. But it should be all smooth sailing from here. And lastly about this climb, there isn't much of a shoulder on the right hand side of the road, so just be cautious, bring some lights if you're coming early in the morning. There are some buses that come here which are taking some of the tourists out towards some of the areas and connecting back to the marin cities, so just be cautious of that and make sure be seen by the cars and stay safe up here. But outside of that, let's get going. Alrighty, we're in the Olema Valley now. We're heading south towards the big climb of the day, the Bofax Climb. Let's keep it going. And as we head south here, we're going to be going straight into the sun. And boy, do I need that heat to warm up. I am so chilly and wet. Oh, it's quite the morning. Alrighty, I'm at the spot where I should have been 30 minutes ago, but didn't take a long detour all the way down to Stinson Beach. But that's alright, we're at the base of the Bofax Road climb. It's going to go up, taking this all the way up to that top of that ridge up there. I think even over there a little bit. But we've got 32 miles in the legs. We're warmed up, and I was thinking it's just like a stage race. The directors have put in a little punchy climb at the start and then a long flat area, and now we're at the big peak of the day, and we're going to see who has the muscle and the might to get to the top and stay with the pack. So I'm going to pump some legs. I'm going to get to the top of this, and we'll see what views we have down towards the bay and out towards the Pacific Ocean. It's time to see what this climb has in store. Let's go. Alright, I will say, off the bat, the turnoff off the main road there is not well marked, so you might easily miss it, but the best thing to look for is the cattle guards on the base of the road, and that you know is the right turnoff, but there is literally no signage. We're off to a pretty start though, look at this.
Alrighty, the Bofax Climb, as it is nicknamed. It is on the Bolinas and Fairfax Road up to the top of the ridgeline. It is number 8 on our list. It has a pre-ranking of number 59, so we're getting up there in difficulty. It's just over 4 miles, about 1,500 feet of elevation gain, straight from sea level right to the ridgeline. It's a really beauty, 6.4%. Let's get into it.
I think we're in for switchbacks galore today. Off to a little bit steep start every time we make one of those switchbacks. But I find if there's no cars, I use the outer part of the road, less steep. Okay, this first quarter here is pretty steep. It's tough going. But besides that, it's a lovely piece of road. It's well paved, it's very quiet. I'm the only one here. I haven't seen a single other person so far. Lovely. All to myself. Like I said last week, we're not going for any specific time. We're just here for the vibe, for the experience, see what it's like, up and up away. Look at the light coming through here. It's almost yellow, bouncing off these trees. It's a beautiful morning. It's warmed up. Oh, how lucky are we? Alright, one thing to mention here, and it could be just because of the storms we've had over the past week, but there's a lot of debris on the track, on the road, so caution as you go up. Gained some elevation already, looking out towards the bay. I tell you what, it is that quiet that I've been thinking about it so much. All of the other climbs I've done so far in this have been on roads with cars, and you have that constant looming car sound behind you or in front of you. And on this road, you're just by yourself. It's delightful. It's one less thing to worry about. Alright, I wasn't expecting it to be this steep, but it is a real ripper of a climb. This is a good one for training, building the legs. Oh, keep pumping, up and up. And boy, am I having a good time this morning. I haven't done either of these climbs or any of the roads in between. It's been a real adventure. And I woke up so excited just because you don't know what's around the corner, you don't know what to expect, and it has delivered so far, especially on a day like this. Alright, huffing and puffing a bit. Really putting in an effort now, but still feeling strong, still feeling good. We're heading into some shaded areas with some big trees around. This looks like a good part. Just also saw my first cyclist coming downhill. First one on the road. That's exciting. So it seems like we're following a good old gulch all the way up to the top here. And the sound of a trickling stream at the bottom of the gulch is a lovely backdrop for this climb. Alright, there's the water source we've been following as we make our way up and up. Looks like a mudslide that's been cleaned up. Good to know for future times. Right after a stormy wet season, maybe some along here. But it seems like it's taken care of. One thing you do not get in this climb is any major views ahead to understand how far you've got to go. So you really need to have it downloaded if you want to have sort of a feet-by-feet status of where you are on the climb, because it wiggles around these corners and it only gives you the next 100 or 200 feet. So really not a good understanding of do I have a lot more or a little more. Directions of one road from bottom to top, sea level to the top of the mountain. Nice and easy. You can just put your head down, think about climbing, and enjoy those views. Alright, checking in. Been going for 4 miles here. I think a little over 20 minutes since we got started at the bottom. And we're just plugging away. We're just going through. We're just in the middle of the climb, working it through it. A lot of the views are obscured by the trees, but you get snippets out towards the bay and out towards the ocean, understanding of how far you've climbed. But it's nicely shaded, it's nice and cool. I bet this will be good during the summer. Alright, let's keep on going. And after a certain amount of time, the path kind of heads more inland than following along the ridge. You start to get an idea that you're close to the top. There's a crossroads, either up to Mount Tam or down to Alpine Dam. We're getting closer here, especially noted by the thicker redwoods. Alright, close to the top here. Last little effort, pushing on through. Ooh, what a climb, what a river one. Alrighty, that's the top of the Bolinas Fairfax Road climb. You're going to reach this crossroads here where there's a gate down to Alpine Dam, and then the other direction over there heads up to Mount Tam. What a climb. That is just nice and consistent, wiggling around in amongst the trees. You get varied types of trees, foliage. It's a lovely paved path, but the nice part of it is extremely quiet. Very little car traffic. If anything, the only car traffic I saw was state park rangers heading up to clear some of the roads in their vans, but they give you lots of space. It's a real ripper of the climb. In some parts it gets really steep and you're just pushing the legs through. But I tell you what, for a training ride and you come out here, that's perfect. It's not too long. It's about just 20-25 minutes depending how fast you are. I took it nice and easy. But a lovely little climb. I'm glad we came and done that today. We're going to head down towards Alpine Dam, but I'm going to recap how these climbs stack up against the other ones.
Alright, where do these stack up against the other ones? Well, this is climb 7 and 8. You get a 2-for-1 episode here, so we've got 2 rankings to go through. The first one I'm going to do is the Bofax one, the harder of the 2. That's going to sit at number 4 out of the 8 we've done so far. I'm going to give it a ranking of 6.2. It's about middle of the table in terms of a hard climb, but it's just a little bit harder than 5 out of 10. I would say the great thing about it is it's very consistent grade all the way up. It's pretty steep in some parts, but it really mellows out and just provides you with a very consistent, very methodical way of getting up a hill, and it's not too bad. Anyone could really take it along and really use it as a pine marker to work towards as climbs go. I'm going to move Olema Hill down at the bottom there, second to last in spot 7. It's 1.2 out of 10. It's definitely not a very hard hill. It's a little bit harder than ice cream grade, but it's really easy, and many people could get out there and get up to the top of that hill and give yourself a reward of a really great view down the Olema Valley. Now let's go to beauty rankings. So these 2 are neighbors on the list, number 6 and number 7. I'm putting Bofax at 5.2 out of 10. It's really middle of the table. You really do get obscured views as you're going away all the way up to the top, so there's no viewpoint advantages out towards the bay and out towards Bolinas, but it's still pretty nonetheless. And then Olema Hill, it's nothing special. You get to the top and it's just a bunch of farmland up there, and there's no real vantage point. You do get some good views down to Olema Valley, but I wouldn't say it's something to go out of your way and make it a day out of. It's really to add to any ride that you're sort of up in that area. So there we go, we're 8 out of 151. We're making our progress and feeling good about it. Thanks so much for joining this week. I'll see you next time. Bye.